And now we're back with another post game stream. Starting off well, having my mic muted. The boys are victorious. I'm watching right through the webcam as I see Rabiot, Tekame, and all the boys going down the curva after a pretty thunderous victory against Bologna. But as always, my name is Stefano. I'm joined by my comrade, my brother in arms, De Rosso Nero. De Rosso to my Nero. I'm being poetic tonight. Ozzy, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Very, very relaxing win. 3-0. Can't complain. Cannot complain. It's been a while.
Yeah, I was trying to think. What was that? Udinese? No. Where did we win 3-0? Maybe
I
Udinese.
have some
Forget.
I have some
That was
stats
the
for you
comfortable
later
one.
on.
Ooh, okay. But you're right. It has been a while since we've been comfortable. More us or more our domination or more Bologna's poor form that continues to run on.
I think a bit of both. I was surprised to be playing so well, considering we had a bit of rotation. We can get into some player performances. Bologna were absolutely shockingly bad. I thought
Yeah,
they've got nothing going for them. I think
yeah.
the our final goal there caps off just what a disastrous evening they had. They've got the composure of Ruben Loftus-Cheek in the final third, but that's all of their players. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
it's we.
as
I mean, you only play. You can only play as good as your opponent, but at the same time, I think we snuffed them out. It wasn't
yeah,
all individual mistakes by them. We just made it work, and we're somehow clinical. This could probably have ended 5-6-0 almost, but yeah.
yeah, that's the same issue as always. Yes, very little from Bologna. I'm very happy to remind everyone when I'm right, and I will with one specific player in this game. But I'm also happy to remind people when I'm wrong. I'm a big Italiano fan. I still think he's a very good coach that deserves um, a bigger bench. No disrespect to Bologna, but oof, they've been struggling, and today not much. They had Europe, of course, but that was Thursday. It has now been almost a week, so tough to explain that. But their terrible run of form continues with several different players. Um, they created maybe. Do you remember a single like decent chance that they had? I think they closed that in the second half. There was a cross in that I forgot who, maybe Bernardeschi, completely missed, but he had an opportunity to get a shot on target, but he just whiffed it. But
Yeah,
other
no, I
than
think
that,
we kept them on the outside. They had some long shots and some crosses, but we dispatched that pretty easily. Even though I think De Vinter played well, Gabbia
yeah,
played okay, Pavlovic played okay. It was nice to see him back properly. We just they didn't really test us. We can look at the stats. Some I'll try to look at the stats, but doesn't really. I don't really recall Mike Mignon having to do like a proper save necessarily.
I know the man just
Yeah,
got paid big. You think would put him up to the test, but I guess he could take a night
yeah,
off.
no, yeah.
Yeah, I mean
It
the
was
only
just
thing
like
they had is
floaters. Yeah,
corners.
yeah, they had technically two shots on target, but I think they were just because they were going on target rather than like a dangerous shot or a clean shot.
You mentioned, of course, we'll get on the who we think did best, and it's a lot of the boys up top. But De Winter does well again. Do we think he grabs a starting spot from either Tomori or Pavlovic? I'm not sure he's been starting lately because he's a starter as much as rotation. Obviously, Pavlovic was coming from the like whatever 9 stitches on his head. But do you
Yeah,
think either of those two are in danger of losing their starting position to De Winter?
I think maybe Tomori, if anything, but it's one of those. It's not like either of them. I think have been particularly bad. De Winter's been good, but not like outstanding. If you know what I mean. Like because he's played. He's had some shocking performances, like against Napoli in the Supercoppa, like the Sassuolo game. I think it was. Just because he has a good game, it makes us think it's outstanding and that he should start. Let's get back down onto with both feet on the ground. But I wouldn't be upset
Fair.
if there's some rotation and As long as he doesn't play central center back, I think I'm happy.
Yes, that's absolutely key. I think you're right. Let's hope, since the January transfer window was what it was, that Gabia stays alive, because otherwise we are in rather big trouble. But of course, big game, a lot of scores, three different scores, as a matter of fact. Any of those three, your man of the match?
Oof, it's not Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And Kunku, I
Oh
think he
my
had a
God.
very, very good game.
Yeah,
I
today
think he had
was
a
maybe
very good
Nkuku's
game.
best game as a Rossonero, I think, that I
Yeah,
remember at least.
I think we maybe give it to him purely because I shouldn't say we're expecting these types of performances week in week out. Or that we've seen it by Rabiot. He had a very good game, but it's for us. It's he's been a game winner before. He's probably one of the best pieces of transfer. You can argue Pulisic, I think,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah,
Yeah.
he's probably the best one in I shouldn't say decades. That's a stretch, but yeah, since maybe Theo Hernandez for that little money back then, or even Mike Mignon. Those are the type of transfers that I think we're talking about Rabiot. So
Yeah, yeah.
let's give it to Nkunku.
And I think Nkunku is fair, but you're on the money. I mean, Rabiot, what a player! And the goal, I think it's his eighth goal and assist, so goal contribution in a season. This is what Allegri was talking about when he said he wanted Fofana and Loftus-Cheek to score 15 goals. At the time, of course, when he said that quote, Rabiot was not a Milan player. And we often, I like to remind you, but everyone, and we often like to joke, how key was the fact that we lost the first game against Cremonese, and the fact that Rabiot decided to punch Ro and get himself kicked out and his price lowered, because I think
Yeah,
that literally that sliding door moment is the difference between a season where you're second and you can even dream of a Scudetto. Again, we always say this run is not really a Scudetto run, but the fact that you're in a conversation and probably being out of the Champions League, I wouldn't be, with how tight the Serie A is. I honestly think without Rabiot, we wouldn't even be there.
you're
I'll
very
give the
right on
word to
that.
you in a second. I just want to say thank you, Boss Vinny, for joining the chat. He says the Winter has impressed me. Even Atekame was good. We haven't brought him up yet. This game I was shot by Fofana. He looked like a different player. Thank you for tuning in. To all watching, please feel free to drop any comments in the chat. We'll get to all your thoughts, and of course, drop a like, subscribe to your boys as we climb the YouTube rankings. Um, Nkunku, yes, as I said, I thought it was his best game as a Rossonero. So very fair. Just obviously the penalty is the penalty. But just the flair. He tried hard. He was able to actually put down some of those long balls that he's been struggling with all season. A couple panas. He looked alive. As Bossy Vini was saying, talk to me a little bit about Tekame, because I thought he did very well. I've been very unsure about what he'd be able to bring to this team. And today, look, nothing outrageous, but not scared at all, which hadn't always been the case for him. And some very good crossing. Could have had an assist on Fofana. Could have had an assist on Kunku on the goal, on the first goal. What did you think of his performance?
I thought he played very well. He's growing more and more. We know that Selemakers is now, I guess, properly injured. He's he miss this game. He's missing the Pisa game most likely.
Mm-hmm.
So it's we're on thin ice in terms of depth, but I think he in a game like this he did really well on both sides of the pitch, or both ends of the pitch, I should say. Sorry, and yeah, that crossing is, I shouldn't say surprising, but we haven't really seen him in that position
Mm-hmm.
before. I mean,
Agreed.
obviously as a right wing back we have, but not in a he's not really been contributing going
Yeah, he had that.
forwards. No,
Yeah, he
he
had
has a
that
goal, of
goal
course,
where, yeah,
but
with the
yeah,
deflections and all
yeah.
that. But yeah, we hadn't really seen him go
Yeah,
forward. Agreed.
yeah, yeah, and he seemed a lot more confident on the ball. He was demanding the ball. He decided. It
Mm-hmm.
seems like he decided what to do before he got the ball, which I think. I mean, the guy is very young still, and he's
Yeah,
no disrespect to young boys in here in Switzerland, but it's a different level, different animal. Even if it's just Milan in the Serie A,
absolutely. And
he
and this
looks like he's
podcast is
taking
pro
this in his
young
stride.
boys. We wanna make that clear.
Oh no
Do,
no
do,
no 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 no
do
no no
not
no
look
no
AC
no
Milan
no.
zone on the Epstein file lookup website. We did disassociate. This is not. This is
No,
not
we're
what we
FC
do.
Luzern. We're FC Luzern only. No young boys. No young boys up in here.
Claudio Frigerio says Forza Milan from Como. Ciao Claudio, thank you so much for tuning in. Forza Milan, back to you.
Speaking of
Yeah,
Como.
go talk to your boy Sask and explain to him how to score a goal, even they have even while having 5+ expected goals. How many expected goals
Yeah.
did we rack up today? Gotta be close to 3, surely. Because we had some chances even with Fulkrug later on. We had 2.62, and it felt like we created a lot. I cannot imagine what it's like to have. I think that Como had 5.2, something like that, something ridiculous.
5.24. I think it's a record.
My God, what an absolute joke of a game. I did love the Kaneseki performance overall. Of course, everyone's been praising him. Did you catch his celebration after he saved the penalty? He gave the Marco Bellinelli "ho due coglioni così." He probably held up and showed everyone the size of his attributes in goal. I just love that
We've
moment.
gone from talking about young boys to this.
This is who we are, boys, ladies and gentlemen. This is who we are. But the first goal scorer was Ruben Loftus-Cheek. We'll get into Fofana in a second because this is a battle that I've been fighting all year, and so I'm gonna take the wins where I can get. But Ruben Loftus-Cheek does score the first goal. This podcast has been notoriously anti the Englishman, or anti his performances, not him as a person, but his
It
performances.
still is. It still is, and always will be.
It still is. What did you think of his game overall?
Probably is a bit of a. I mean, what do we make of this man? I mean, the guy just has zero composure. Luckily, it wasn't like a proper battle. This today, we comfortably won 3-0. But the guy, I mean, if you just look at the situation when he's 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper there, it's baffling. I mean,
Yeah,
Pavlovic will do better. Gabio would do better.
yeah, yeah. And
Gabriel Paletta would do better.
it's honestly so frustrating because it was like 10 minutes in, 15 minutes in, maybe. And this is in hindsight, you're like, oh, okay, it doesn't matter. But in the normal average Milan game, you have maybe 2 of those chances per game, and you need to put them away. And there's what we always say, what at least I always say about even when we're talking about Fofana and these such players, I can fault you for making a mistake or being bad, but you gotta shoot the goddamn ball. Like Nkunku, beautiful pass, just serves it on. Just all he has to do is run and shoot the ball. Then we can tell you that you're terrible when you shoot not on target or if you shoot right at the keeper, but you gotta shoot the ball, and he just walks it right into him. I had a moment of weakness. I really lost my mind there for a second. Thankfully, the boys came in clutch. Um, I saw some people
He
asking
scored
if
though. He
exactly
scored though. So
does
I
the
mean,
goal
right place, right time.
does the goal sort of forgive the performance or the
No, no, no,
mistakes?
no, 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 no. No, I'm gonna hold a grudge for the rest of my life with that man. I have nothing against him personally. Like he seems like a nice guy. He
Honestly,
doesn't
yeah.
create storms in media. He his work
Reserved.
rate is debatable, but he seems like a reserved fella. Um,
Yeah.
but
Clearly great in training. Every manager rates him.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah.
Tuchel does somehow.
Yeah. I mean the goal, yeah. I
He's in
mean
a yeah.
do it. I think I scored that. I mean you maybe I'm talking myself up. I think I scored that goal.
I
Rabiot
know
just
you
serves
would.
it up.
I've seen
Yeah.
you. I've seen you in front of goal. You're a poacher. I guess that's only a
So
poacher's goal, but yeah. You saw
so
what
don't
Inzaghi did against the Czech Republic in 2006. Just
yeah, I don't. For Rubenov's, I think that's what Rubenov's cheek was trying in the first when he ran the ball into the goalkeeper. But the tap in you know, came a little bit easier. The goal, I agree with you, does not forgive his overall performance. In the goal, another
no.
beautiful Tekame cross, as we were talking about. A nice little movement from Nkunku there. Like I don't know if you noticed it, but he led us like a little feint to then go behind the little shimmy, little Steph Curry shimmy to go behind the defender. Good header. Then another header from the ground. It was a very FIFA-esque goal in terms of the
Yeah,
messiness. And then
yeah,
Rabiot lays it off. Another complaint about Ruben Loftus-Cheek, since we're on the topic, the second goal. We were chatting about this together. Terrible pass. Counter attack 3v2, lays it off to Nkunku poorly, and Nkunku makes a penalty out of a ball that should have been a turnover. Yeah, now I'm sounding way too American, but uh, that was.
turnovers. Sorry, that's really sorry. I don't want to make fun of Americans.
But again, there it's really Nkunku making, making that penalty out of a poor place pass, and then a good penalty after, yeah, not such a great one that was still went in. Um, yeah, I don't know. Did you think it was a penalty or not? I mean, to me, it's clear there's contact, but it's one of those that he touched the ball just sort of to get the first touch and get it out of the way, but I don't know if he gets to
Yeah,
that
he
ball.
drags. He. I don't know. I'm trying to keep my bias. It puts us 2-0 up. It kind of, I shouldn't say kills the game, but it certainly helps us. Obviously,
Yeah,
I. Oh, if I could take this shirt off and we wouldn't get banned from YouTube potentially, and be unbiased. I'd say it's a cheap penalty. You can see he drags his legs, and I don't think it's natural. I mean, he could definitely have either stepped over or made it look a lot more natural in the way he fought. He sees a goalkeeper with his hands out there, and then he lets his legs get clipped. He does.
yeah. Again, it's a
But
poorly way pass,
I'm
and then
wearing
he just.
I'm wearing this, so it is a stonewall penalty. There is
Hey, we've
contact.
seen we've seen a lot less given instead as penalty and
Exactly. Yeah.
much more poor calls. So we
And
will take
that's why
it.
I'm not I that's why I don't feel that bad for Bologna. I've seen penalties given for less.
I mean, in the
We've
first
seen
fixture,
full
we've
club.
been,
Yeah,
Nkunku was fouled 4 times and didn't get a penalty. So maybe this is just, we were owed
yeah,
probably 2.5 penalties between the two fixtures. We got one. So
yeah, yeah. And
overall,
Inter fans can throw flat flares onto the pitch and somehow manage to weasel out so that they can go to the derby.
yeah, that is insane.
Anyways,
First of all, the
we're
fact that the man lost a finger trying to throw a second, or lost 2 fingers trying to throw a second, one onto the pitch is wild. Um, and the fact that, yeah, they basically get to miss 2 games, and it's like, oh, why is the derby out? Because they're not traveling. It doesn't matter. What if they were playing, what if they were playing Cremonese? Like, well, it's close enough. They should be able to go. It's
yeah,
ridiculous. The Marotta League really, the political
it's
power
rife.
of
It's
Italy.
rife. Yeah.
It's really disgusting. Um,
But speaking of, we scored 2-0 against with the Nkunku penalty.
yeah.
I want to hear you now. When was the first time ever we scored, or the first time ever? When was the last time we scored 2 goals in the first half?
Ooh, I'm assuming it happened this season, or no?
And it's definitely happened this season.
Okay.
It's happened this season. It's happened twice this
Um,
season, I believe.
that's this is actually wild. Well, first of all, when is the first time we scored 2 goals? It's been a while. Roma,
I had to scroll a
Cagliari.
bit to find this out.
I mean, we scored 2 against Napoli in the first half, right? Pulisic, and then was that last time? Ah, okay.
That
Because I
was
was
the
gonna say
last
that's a
time
long
we
time
went.
ago.
That's the last time we went 2-0 into the halftime. But
Ah,
we've
okay.
since then we scored. It was a week. It was a week after, I believe. It was when we scored 2 against Parma. That
Ooh,
awful game.
right. That's also been a long time, to be fair. Yeah.
8th of November was the last time.
And I actually thought about that game during the game, so I'm a bit of an idiot because I was like, yeah, we went up 2-0, and I was like, okay, at halftime, this is the games that Allegri usually kills. Although last time, Estupinian gifted those goals away. That is a good stat, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no easy ones. Yeah, I
And
do hope.
Zortea, their right back, had a tough first half. That guy got worked over. Not necessarily physically bullied, but just the guy was a good half a
Yeah,
meter off every time. I think it was Rabiot did one of those behind his back things. like dragged it, pulled it back, and the guy, and you could just see him like, ah, shit. And then it was included with the panna. Like, ah.
Yeah,
And he
he
could
went
probably
into the
have gotten a
half
yellow
just,
card.
yeah.
Yeah.
He went into the half just huffing and puffing, be like, oof, this one wasn't for me, yeah. No,
My hamstring's a bit tight. Italiano, let me.
yeah, and it's especially tough when you're in bad form, you're playing a better team that's, you know, playing much better, and then you've played this Thursday and we haven't played in 9 days. So everyone is,
9 days.
we have an injury crisis, of course, where a lot of players missing, but everyone who's there is pretty damn rested. We're not going to be playing for another, I think, another 9. I forgot exactly how many days, but I think we play Friday of next week. So if it's not 9
Yeah.
days, it's whatever, 8 or 10. So if needed, everyone can keep playing. It's a tough Tuesday night for
Yeah,
Bologna, who mailed this
we
in.
play in we play in 10 days.
Man, we're gonna need to come up with
13th of Feb.
some content to fill these days. It's like a mini international break, and then of course we play very closely because the Como game and the Cortina games that take over San Siro. But before we go, I almost forgot twice now. I do wanna brag. For the people say that Fofana is not a good football player, that Ricci offers so much more. And this is again not a shot at Ricci. Fofana dominated in that first half. He's all over the first goal. He gets the ball back, drives it forward. Should have had a goal earlier on, I guess, but it was a good header. It was out, should be on target, but it was out. But in the first goal, he's all over. Again, different player, different impact, but you just don't see Ricci bring that level of intensity to the game. So I was glad to see him do well.
Yeah,
Again, all
it
over midfield
reminds me
side.
of. Yeah, now we've got the trio back together. It seems like they pulled a performance that, I mean, we've seen a bit of rotation, and Fofana was somewhat injured, and Rabiot was injured, and Modric has been in rotation. So it's the first time since, let's say, I don't know what game exactly, but maybe 2 months almost, that it felt like we've seen the trio back together again, performing at that center midfield that just dominates games completely, flawless, borderline flawless, I would say. Modric perhaps not having the same exact impact that he did in the beginning of the season, but similar, dishing balls out, slowing down the pace of the game when needed to be. Rabiot just with running endlessly, and yeah, Fofana all over the pitch. Seemed to have a good touch on him today.
It
Deserving.
really depends
Yeah.
how he wakes up, which foot he puts down first, like the Italians like to say. Yeah, and what did you make of the subs? Obviously, very different, very difficult game to adjust on the subs after 3-0 was sort of dead. Bologna was sort of happy to roll over. We were,
Yeah.
still looking for a goal, but we weren't, going out of our way. I think Allegri, with all the midfielders that he put in, really stressed the fact that, hey, we're not conceding. This is not Parma. But
Yeah.
we still saw some good things, I thought, from Fulkrug, who was very strong, had a great header, could have
Yeah.
scored. He even tried a little back heel, tried to get fancy with it. Jashari looked alive, Richie looked good. What did you think?
Yeah. No, I mean, I think the subs came at a good time. I think it's
Yeah.
good to rest. I say rest. We've got 10 days until the next game with Atacama, but let's not, like you say, maybe one slip up, and he leaves the pitch being, looking back at it saying, this is my best performance in a Milan shirt. It's 3-0. We're 3-0 up when he comes off, right? So good for him. I'm happy days that Leao got to rest and not actually have to feature.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think we have, is it Odogu on the bench and then two goalkeepers. So all the right subs we made, all the subs we could, quite literally.
Yeah, it's always funny to go on the apps, live score, SofaScore, whatever you prefer, and you just scroll down to see on the bench, and you see the other side as just you have to scroll to figure out the names, and us it's like two goalkeepers, a
Yeah,
couple kids from the Primavera, and then like the three subs that we can actually use. Um, always a little bit depressing. Good point about
yeah,
Leao. I mean, Pulisic doesn't travel because he's hurt, but it's good that he gets the rest and hopefully he's able to heal. And yeah, I mean, Leao gets the 9 days off, trains and travels with the team, but also doesn't play, can chill a little bit, and now gets another 9-10 days. Um, that's huge. I think again, I don't really nobody really understand what's going on. It's this borderline pubalgia. Um, but hey, if that means he's able to go um, at full speed and give us some sprints, then all the better. Next up is Pisa. Alberto Gilardino, Milan legend. Is he on this shirt? He's not, but he
Oh,
was. He did win this Champions League.
he's yeah. He got sacked.
He got the boot. Pisa's obviously not doing well. Obviously, that's the
And
danger there. Go for
you
it.
know who's replacing him? Who's now officially replaced him? A Swedish,
No, I actually don't.
Swedish ex midfielder of Palermo. His name is Oscar with a C, which is quite rare in Sweden. Hiljemark, under 21s Euro winner with Sweden 2014, 2015, 2015.
Where
Yeah, ex Palermo player, long
where was he
blonde hair.
before?
He was in Elfsborg, which is a
Oh,
town. Well, it's a team from Sweden in Borås,
damn.
which
Where did
is
that's a
I don't think.
deep reach for Pisa. Where did they? That's strange.
Yeah, I think it's. I shouldn't say. I mean, he's been promising. I think he kind of retired early. He had quite a lot of knee injuries, and he's been he's an ex Palermo back in the day, like over 10 years ago, ex PSV player. He did well with Elfsborg. I think the last 2 seasons, and because or the Swedish season hasn't started, he's available. Do you know what I mean? Because we start in I say we
I
going
guess that makes
forward,
sense.
but
Yeah, I'm just surprised that
people.
I don't know any much about his level. It's just usually those clubs go for like definitely the Italian, uh, you know, the Italian version of Big Sam, someone who can definitely try to get you out of relegation zone at the last second.
Yeah,
But the danger is this, of course, is with Pisa that they have a wake up game, new manager boost. Um, but of course, not a game that should, in theory, trouble us. But obviously, we know that's not the case almost any games this season. And then they go and get tough because I think we have Como, and then right after that, shortly after, and we know the Como is gonna have our game absolutely circled after what happened in the first one. Then we go
well, they're
Parma.
slipping in the standings, aren't they?
Yes, well,
Yeah, yeah,
they're losing points. They've
4
had
points. Yeah,
big chances to go grab that fourth place, and they're 4 points behind Juve, and they could have easily got two from Atalanta, um, two from us, arguably. And speaking of the standings, how big was this victory? We don't gain any points, of course, on the Inter, Napoli, and Juve, but we keep Napoli and Juve bay 4 and 6 points respectively. We do gain points on Roma, who dropped points against Udinese, who's been a bit of a boogeyman, as I guess they always are, for some of the big teams. So they're in fifth right now, and that's 7 points clear.
and look, we love Wayne. We love Wayne. This isn't anything personal, but gotta have to bring it up. I think he was saying that they would come was a second or come above Milan.
Yeah. They had a good performance, and he
Like
was talking a big game. He was saying Milan looked broken. We're not built right, and
yeah,
hey, in many ways, he wasn't completely wrong. But he was running high, and Malin. This is another point that I kind of called during the podcast with Wayne. I was like, look, we know how the Roma fan base are. Malin's first game looked incredible, but they're gonna talk about him like he's Cristiano Ronaldo, and it's gonna come back down a little bit, and it sure has. By the way, I do not hear when Gasperini loses against Udinese and creates nothing. Roma was not anywhere close. They probably should not have conceded the goal in terms of, you know, the flow of the game, but we're not anywhere close to scoring. When that happens to Allegri, it's Allegri terrorist ball. Allegri doesn't want to play well, eh, which is
yeah.
absurd.
And did you
All I
see
hear is
Gasperini's
this is
comments?
this
Yeah,
is why they need strikers. This is why they need strikers. This is why they need strikers. You had two that are not good. Okay, sure. Same with us, by the way. And then they went and bought you strikers. We didn't. We got Fulkrug. Is Malen better than Fulkrug on paper? Yes, I think everyone would tend to agree. but everyone just since it's
Yeah,
Gasperini, it's fine. If you have no XG, it's fine. It's fine. But when it's Allegri, then it's terrible. The
I
double
think he said
standard is
also
crazy.
because now they've slipped out of the top four. He said something like, "Oh, next season if we don't make it to Champions League, then I shouldn't be the manager here anymore because they failed on their mission of top four." It's strange. So I shouldn't say strange with Gasperini, but let's relax a bit, guys. With
Yeah,
the heavy
yeah.
state. Like
It's just incredible. This is actually one of the things that I appreciate Allegri the most, and I think it's a very Milan manager and a Milan way of doing things, which is, Gasperini complains non-stop. Sarri complains non-stop. Now, for Sarri, I give an exception because Lazio is an absolute dumpster fire. They hired him without telling him that he wasn't going to be able to do, to have a transfer market. So Sarri, I forgive. But Conte, we've seen the absolute circus that he's made this year with how he speaks to the press. And first he has too many players, then he has too little players, then it's the wrong players, then no, not enough players are coming in. Even Spalletti said, I need a striker. Why? And they tell Mina goes for it. They're like, oh, we're surprised Juve didn't give Spalletti the striker he wanted. And then Allegri's the terrorist. Uh, what? They had
yeah,
Vlahovic,
yeah.
and we had 3 minutes, and they both went down, and they both strikers that we tried to get rid of in the summer. Then they bought this summer Openda and David for one spot. We we bought Nkunku, who's not even a true striker, and we're playing Ruben Loftus-Cheek. But somehow Spalletti is a god. Now don't get me wrong, Spalletti is doing very well. He is playing beautiful football at the moment, but it's just incredible. And Allegri says nothing. Says nothing. They ask him questions. It's like I don't want to talk about players that are not in the club because that's out of respect to them and to the club. We buy someone and he's like, oh, the club did great. This is exactly who I wanted. We don't buy anyone and he's like, good. I got my team. I trust my boys.
Yeah.
He's
Big chiller.
hilarious.
He's a big
Exactly.
chiller.
But this is what I like.
He was animated. I think we was it when we went 3-0 up. He was still on the like sidelines going like, "Go on, go on." Psychopath. I think
I,
who was it that was saying it? Was it a Milan player? Was it a Milan player? Or was it like an ex Juve player? I can't remember. Was saying like, yeah, Allegri is nastiest if you want to say like the most intense when we're playing the best and winning games.
yeah,
When we're not winning games, he's actually quite chill.
yeah. I honestly think that all of the stuff that he does, well, maybe not all, but like 99.9 of the stuff that he does on the sideline, including the striptease, jacket throws, and all that, is much more calculated than people think. Because you notice it, like during the games, especially when we struggle, he's there, he's calm, he's telling everyone calm, he's hugging players like he did with Salemakers in the first Roma game and all that stuff. And it's the last few minutes where he freaks out. And it's because he's sending a message to his team of like, hey, high alert now. During the game is very chilled. And this goes back to what you're saying, when we're losing, there's no point in
Unless you're
freaking out.
Unless you're Yunus Musa, who's just like accidentally fallen over the ball.
Yeah, and
That was
throwing
this
it back
season.
too
That feels
easily.
a lifetime ago.
Yeah, and he's still a Milan player, and he's gonna come back because he's not playing. Yeah, I know the turnovers in players is crazy. This time last year, we were saying, "Oh, baby, we got Kyle Walker and Joao Felix. We're good." Uh, how
Joao
times change.
Felix. Oh, that guy is the biggest fraud in football ever. Almost the price
Yeah,
tag he's had.
yeah. Hey, we could have bought someone for 35 million euros who's apparently getting operated tomorrow and is out for 6 months. So we got we, we got close to the ultimate fraud. Um, can we officially say even though I don't know how many goals he's up to, 4 or 5 goals and a couple of decent games, Nkunku better than João Felix? Can we confirm that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think so. He adds more to it. I think he adds a lot more. I mean, yeah, Joao Felix had 1.5 good games, I think, for us. And Kuku is
Yeah,
borderline. I wouldn't say fantastic games, and what is it, 3 penalties technically, but 2 in the Coppa Italia as well. I think he adds a lot more, and he seems, and it's also coming in January is a lot different than coming in during the summer, even if it's the last day.
yeah, yeah.
And Kunku is
Agreed.
trying to revitalize his career a bit more. Joao Felix, he has is it what's his name, Jorge Mendes as his
The Portuguese pusher.
agent. That guy will. That guy will. Yeah, he's a magician. He could probably.
Do
What
you
could
think
he
he
do?
can sneak us into a team? Get us to play a couple professional minutes.
Yeah, probably.
You gotta learn Portuguese. I don't know where now. Get ready to learn Portuguese, buddy. Not sure we're there. Um, but
Let me
yeah,
learn English first.
um, I think we can leave it there. We'll get back together, of course, after crunching down the numbers, analyzing the data, seeing the XGs
You
and the
know what it
passing
is.
stats and all that, and bring you a lovely podcast, a lovely
I'm a
breakdown
I'm a
podcast.
I'm a big numbers guy. I'll throw all the numbers at you, all of the numbers. There won't be a
All
single number unturned.
you heard it here first, fellas. Get ready. If you're watching live or watching the replay, please take your time, subscribe, and leave a like. As always, since we won, Peachy gets to get featured on the podcast. She's the winning puppy.
Oh, she had a new haircut.
No,
Or
not
trim.
yet. I think she's just looking little. I don't know. Maybe we just combed her so she looks less messy. And beyond that, unless you have anything else, Ozzy, it's time to say Forza Milan and good night.
No, I don't have anything else. Forza Milan.
Forza Milan.